Hey, Magic fans, welcome back. This is your captain speaking on Captain Clyde's MTG. We're going to interrupt your box opening videos because, as you guys have probably noticed by now, the Aftermath spoilers have been leaked in mass. Get it? Mass, after, mass. Anyway, moving on. Uh, there's only 50 cards in the set. I counted 48 leaks already, plus the two other ones which were leaked earlier, so that's all 50. So we're going to run through all 50 of them real quick as I can go through 50 cards, 48, whatever. So let's get into it. Don't forget to subscribe. So we're going to start off with Karn Legacy Reforged, 5 colorless. This legendary creature Golem is power and toughness equal the greatest mana value among artifacts you control. And since he's an artifact, he's a 5 for a 5/5. At the beginning of your upkeep, add 1 colorless for each artifact you control. This mana can't be spent to cast non-artifact spells until end of turn. You don't lose mana during your mana step and phases. This is absurd. Just put that out there right now. I don't know if these are going to be used in standard. If they are, this thing's going to be amazing because a 5/5 for 5 is just enough. Plus, pumping extra mana out depending on your artifacts every turn is amazing as well. Plus, you have Commander. Um, there's modern Urza decks that will use this. This is just nuts. Moving on. Next, we have Calyx Guided by Fate, white, green, and 1 for a 2/2 human druid constellation. Whenever him or another constellation enters the battlefield, put a +1/+1 counter on target creature. So basically, he's a 3/3 for 3 at the very least. And whenever him or an enchantment creature you control deals combat damage to a player, you may create a token that's a copy of a non-legendary enchantment you control. Do it only once per turn. The implications of this are just insane. Copying removal enchantment spells in white, which his thing is white, is absurd. You know, all the Oblivion Ring effects in white that just exile stuff when they come into play, just make tokens of them over and over once a turn if it happens to hit somebody, and just start removing things from the battlefield. Yeah, this thing is nuts. And you may also be thinking to yourself, but Clyde, all these things used to be planeswalkers. Why are they not planeswalkers? So the rumor going around is all the planeswalkers lost their spark during the fight somehow, or because they got completed and fixed. And I'm sure there's going to be a story somewhere to tell us the shenanigans going down. But uh, would it be cool to lose planeswalkers for a while? Yeah, maybe. Should they come back? Yeah, probably. Or maybe we're past the planeswalker phase and time to move on to something new. Who knows? Anyway, moving on. Next, we have Nahiri, Forged by Fury, white, red, and 4 for a 5/4 legendary core artificer, affinity for equipment, which means equipment will cast her for you. Whenever an equipped creature you control attacks, exile top card of your library. You may play that card this turn. You may cast equipment spells this way without paying their mana cost, which is also absurd. This looks to be very powerful in a standard or sealed format. And definitely Commander. This whole set's just. I'm going to leave Commander out because this is just Commander all over it. So you have Tyvar, the Bellicose. Anyway, green, black, and 2 for a 5/4. It's an amazing rate. Whenever one or more elves you control attacks, they gain Death Touch in a turn. Each creature you control has, whenever a mana ability of this creature resolves, play a +1/+1 counter on it equal to the amount of mana that creature produced. This is absurd. This may make its way as a one of into elf decks so that things like, oh, I don't know, the Elder Elf that taps for 1 green for every elf you have in play becomes a ginormous thing. But anyway, yeah, great card. Next we have Nahiri's Resolve. White, red, and 3. Creatures you get. It's an enchantment where all your creatures get +1/+0 and half haste. Beginning of your end step, exile any number of non-token artifacts and/or creatures you control. Return them to the battlefield under your control. Beginning of your next end step. So good. It's a blink spell slash anthem, which is very interesting. Yeah, we have Taziri, Stalwart Survivor. I don't remember who Taziri is. Anyway, white and 2 for a 3/3. Each creature you control has tap, add 1 mana of this creature's colors. Spin this mana, only activate abilities, yada yada yada. Activate only if this creature has activated. Spend this mana only to activate an ability of a creature. Activate only if this creature has another activated ability. So much to unpack there. Um, so for Wooburg and tap, mill 5 cards, put all creature cards with activated abilities that aren't mana abilities among them, milled cards into your hand. So yeah, this is going to be a great commander card based on things that are not vanilla. So moving on. Next we have Sigarda, Font of Blessings, white, green, and 2 for a 4/4 flyer. Good God, all other permanents you control have hexproof. Oh my lord. You may look at the top card of your library at any time. You may cast angel cards and human spells from top of your library. Sweet. Thank God the text box isn't any bigger because I don't think they could fit any more on it. This is an absurdly good card. Um, so far I haven't found one that sucks. So like they all have value. Ob Nixilis, Captive Kingpin. Oh my God. Red, black, and 2 for a 4/3 flying trampling demon. It's got flample, flying and trample. It's got flample. Whenever one or more opponents each lose exactly 1 life, put a +1/+1 counter on Ob Nixilis. Exile top card of your library until the end of turn or until the end of your next end step. You may play this card. Very specific, but a 4 mana 4/3 flampler. That if you happen to be pinging somebody, get you some free stuff. Seems okay. I mean, it's a demon. It does a thing. Colligan, the Warmonger. Look at that. Uh, Ogre Warrior. Wasn't Colligan a dragon? Anyway, red and 2 for a 3/2 with haste. When it attacks, look at the top 6 cards of your library. You may reveal a dragon card from among them. Put it into your hand. Put the rest on the bottom in random order. Yeah, God, just bonkers in the dragon deck. Next we have, oh my, Gold Forged Thopterix? Thopterix? Anyway, Dinosaur Thopter. Oh my God. Blue, white for a 1/3 flying lifelink. Each legendary permanent you control has Ward 2. Alright, so this is not so hot. It is a Thopter and it is a dinosaur. It is an artifact. Giving your legendary permanents, Ward 2 is cool. Flying lifelink is neat. Blue, white though, I don't see a purpose to this one yet. Next, we have Spark Rupture. Oh, here we go. So that must be why everybody lost their spark. Anyway, white and 2 for enchantment. Enters the battlefield, draw a card. Because why not? It's a white card. Why wouldn't you draw a card when you play it? Each planeswalker with 1 or more loyalty counters on it loses all abilities and is a creature with power and toughness equal to the number of loyalty counters on it. Oh my God, is this bananas? Wow, is this good? It's a static ability. It lets you draw a card for 3 mana. Like, it doesn't get much better than this. This is going to be insanely used. Wow, is that good. Alright, next we have the Drannith Ruins. Interesting. Taps for a colorless. It's a land for 2 and tap. Put 2 +1/+1 counters on target non-human creature that enters the battlefield this turn. Drannith, that's Ikoria, right? Very interesting land. I'm not gonna say it's good. I don't think it's bad. It's interesting. We'll go with interesting. All right, next we have Chorus, Sovereign of the Depths, blue, green, and 3 for a 4/5 Vigilance Ward 3. Whenever you cast a Kraken, Leviathan, Octopus, Serpent spell from your hand, look at the top X card of your library, where X is the spell's mana value. You may cast a spell with the mana value less than X from among them without paying its mana cost. Put the rest on the bottom in random order. So much stuff. At least it's hard to come up with really good, I don't know, Kraken, Leviathan, Octopus, and Serpents, unless you're playing Commander. Next we have, it's my boy Sarkhan. Sarkhan, Soul of Flame. Red, blue, and 1 for a 2/4. Dragon spells cost you 1 less to cast. That's so sweet. Whenever a dragon enters the battlefield under your control, you may have Sarkhan, Soul of Flame become a copy of it until the end of turn, except its name is Sarkhan, Soul of Flame, and it's legendary, in addition to other types. This thing's sweet for a dragon deck. I've been missing Sarkhan for so long. They could have done better with him, not gonna lie. This isn't bad. I just want a Sarkhan to be overpowered again because I just missed that. Love Sarkhan. Favorite Planeswalker. Next we have Samut, Visor of Nakatamanda da blah 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 blah. Those words. So, green, red, and 1 for a 2/3. First strike, vigilance, haste. Okay. Whenever a creature you control deals combat damage to a player, if that creature enters the battlefield this turn, draw a card. Okay, so for 3 mana, you get a 2/3 Vigi haste with first strike that could maybe draw you a card the first turn. This is just nuts. Love the art and the border. Throwback. Anyway, next we have Narset, the Enlightened Exile. Oh, here we go. Why America, white, blue, red, 1, 3, 4. Creatures you control have prowess. Whenever it attacks, exile target non-creature, non-land card with mana value less than Narset's power from your graveyard and copy it. You may cast a copy without paying its mana cost. Oh, this is going to get out of hand. This is going to be insanely good in Standard, along with maybe Commander and a few other decks. 4 mana is really not too much in this kind of style, I don't think. It seems to be really good. Next we have, it's Nissa, the Resurgent Animist. Green and 2 for a 3/3 has Landfall. Whenever a land enters the battlefield under your control, add 1 mana of any color. Then, if this is the second time the ability has resolved this turn, reveal cards from top of your library until you reveal an elf or elemental card. Put that card into your hand and the rest of the bottom in random order. It's a combination between the Nissa from the base set and the elemental cards that let you flip a card from top of your deck, kind of, sort of. But still, 3 mana, 3/3. This seems really powerful. Landfall's amazing, so it happens over and over. Like, it has a Lotus Cobra effect. This thing is going to be so busted. Next, we have Nashi, Moon's Legacy. Love the art on this. Blue, green, black. Okay. 3/4, Menace, Ward 1. When it attacks, exile up to 1 target legendary or rat card from your graveyard. Copy it. You may cast the copy. Okay, not terrible. It says you may cast it. You still have to pay for it, so I don't think it's broken. So I think it's got to be probably okay at best. I mean, Saltite colors, come on. Niv Mizzet Supreme. Look at that. The old Woo boy, Wooburg boy. So for 5 mana, you get a 5/5 flying hexproof from monocolor. Interesting. Each instant and sorcery card in your graveyard that's exactly 2 colors has jumpstart. Oh, wow. So that's an interesting way to uh, let you access the graveyard without it being completely busted. So yeah, I kind of like this. Another dragon for the dragon decks and the pain bows. Daneth New Benalia's Light. So white, green, and 1 for a 2/2. Vigilance, Trample, Lifelink. Got so many keywords. Once during each of your turns, you may cast an aura or equipment spell from your graveyard. That's busted. And it's in white, green, in the enchantment, aura, equipment colors for all those flavorful decks. Gonna be popular. Alright, we got Plarg and Nasari. 2 red and 3 for a 5/4. Beginning of your upkeep, each player exile cards from top of their library until they exile a non-land card. An opponent chooses a non-land card. Exile this way. You may cast up to 2 spells from among the other cards. Exile this way without paying their mana cost. So this screams Commander. Yeah. Next we have Rocco Street Chef. All right, so white, green, red, 2/4. Beginning of your end step, each player exiles top card of their library until your next end step. Each player may play the card they exiled this way. Okay. Whenever a player plays a land from exile or casts a spell, put a +1/+1 counter on target creature and create a food. Okay, very interesting. I'm sure it has some kind of weird combo effect, but not as powerful as the rest of the cards. Jernana Dauntless General, white, black for a 2/2. When it enters the battlefield, exile target player's graveyard. Wow, that's good. Sacrifice the humans you control, gain hexproof, indestructible. So this is going straight into modern humans. In a heartbeat. Exile into graveyard, plus it's a 2/2, plus it gives you the whole Selfless Spirit plus effect. Like, this is just amazing. Yeah, this is going straight into modern decks. Next we have PNLR, Council of Revival. Anyway, white, red for a 2/3. Thopters you control have haste. Whenever you play a land from exile or cast a spell from exile, create a 1/1 colorless stop their artifact creature token with flying. Not the best, but still kind of cool. I mean, it's okay. Next, we have Arnie Metalbrow. Funny. Red and 2 for a 3/3. Whenever a creature you control attacks where a creature enters the battlefield under your control attacking, you may pay a red and 1. If you do, you may put a creature card with mana value less than that creature's mana value from your hand onto the battlefield tapped and attacking. That's going to have some shenanigans going on. But it's going to take a lot of mana to get going. So we'll have to wait and see what kind of weird combos we can get. Death Rattle Oni. Okay, black and 6 for a 5/4 flash. Costs 2 less to cast for each creature that died this turn. That makes it a lot better. When it enters the battlefield, destroy all other creatures that were dealt damage this turn. That is interesting. Probably commander only, it's very specific, but kind of cool. Next, we have Cosmic Rebirth. Interesting. White, green, and 1 instant. Choose target permanent card in your graveyard. If it was mana value 3 or less, you may put it onto the battlefield. If you didn't put it on the battlefield, put it into your hand. Gain 3 life. This is going to be an amazing card in any format it's legal, just because of everything it just said. Especially modern 3 mana to get 3 or less from your graveyard, put it on the battlefield. It says permanent, so we're talking enchantments, land, planeswalkers, you name it. This thing's going to be insane. And with this kind of cosmic rebirth thing, it makes me think that we might be going down some kind of comic book style, Marvel slash DC universe reset, which will be probably painful. Next, we have Rebuild the City. Green, red, black, and 3. Sorcery, choose target land. Create 3 tokens that are copies of it, except they're 3/3 creatures in addition to their other types, and they have Vigilance and Menace. Alright, I mean, it's okay. Definitely Commander, probably. Undercity Upheaval. 2 green and 1. Why is it green if it's Undercity? It should be black. Never mind. We'll go there. So 2 green and 1 for a sorcery. Has Undergrowth. Again, should be a black card. Anyway, distribute X +1/+1 counters among any number of target creatures you control, where X is the number of creature cards in your graveyard. As you cast this spell, creatures you control gain Vigilance to the end of turn. Not impressed. Urborg Scavengers. So black and 2 for a 2/2. When they enter the battlefield or attack, exile target card from a graveyard, put a +1/+1 counter on the Scavenger, so it's immediately a 3/3. Taxes a 4/4. It has flying as long as a card exiled has flying. Same is true for, oh my god, for all the key abilities. This is just absurd in so many ways. This is going to be a fun card for Commander. Anyway, next we have Vesuvian Drifter, blue and 2 for a 2/4 flyer. You may look at top card of your library anytime. At the beginning of each combat, you may reveal a top card of your library. If you reveal a creature card this way, the Drifter becomes a copy of that card till the end of turn, except it has flying. There's some shenanigans there. I like this. Next, we have Reckless Handling, red and 1 sorcery. Search your library for an artifact card, reveal it, put it into your hand, shuffle, then discard a card at random. If an artifact card was discarded this way, Reckless Handling deals 2 damage to each opponent. So it's kind of like a gamble plus. I kind of like it. And it's another card for gamble decks, so this could be very popular. Next, we have Markov Baron. So black and 2 for a 2/2 has Convoke for whatever reason. It's lifelink. Other vampires you control get +1/+1, and it has Madness 3. Really cool. I like the fact that this Baron card is a Vampire Lord, which we don't have a whole lot of. It doesn't have flying, so it's not overpowered. Plus, it's a Lord that you can have multiples of, so if you get 2 of them out there, you can have 3/3s for your 3/3. Plus, with the Madness effect, that's kind of cool as well. I like to evoke it. So this is a very nice card. Next, we have Tranquil Thrillback, green and 2 for a 3/3. When it enters the battlefield, you may pay 1 green up to 3 times. When you do, or when you pay this cost 1 or more times, choose up to that many destroy artifact or enchantments, exile target player's graveyards, or gain 4 life. So, for 6 mana, you could gain 12 life and get a 3/3. You could destroy 3 artifacts and or enchantments and get a 3/3 for 6. For 4, you can do 1 and get a 3/3. This is just an amazing card. Whatever formats this thing's going to be legal in, this is going to be played. This is just way too good. Next, we have Leyline Immersion, green and 3. Enchant legendary creature. Interesting. Enchant creature has Ward 2 and tap. Add 5 mana in any combination of colors. Spend this only to cast spells. 4 mana to get 5 mana. So this is going to easily go into lots of combo decks. Like Devoted Druid or other decks that have the ability to let you untap things. Like, Commander for one, so you can, do your untap shenanigans anyway. Training Grounds. Look at that. Is that a reprint? 1 blue enchantment. Activate abilities of creatures you control. Cost 2 less to activate. This effect can't reduce the mana value cost to less than 1 mana. Alright, so it's not a reprint, but it is good. And for 1 blue, it's absurd. Wow, is it absurd. Alright, next we have Nullification. White and 1 enchantment. Uh, Death Nullification. Anyway, when it enters the battlefield, you choose a Planeswalker type. Planeswalkers you control the chosen type have hexproof. What does it mean by type? Anyway, as long as you control a creature, if damage dealt to a Planeswalker you control of the chosen type would result in all loyalty counters being removed. Instead, all but one of those counters are removed. So this is going to be a very interesting card to protect Planeswalkers. Choose a Planeswalker type. Planeswalker type. What does that even mean? Let me find a Planeswalker real quick. Legendary plane. Maybe it means like, Planeswalker Jace, Planeswalker Kaya. Because like different Planeswalkers have the same name technically, right? Anyway, we'll just move on and we'll figure it out later. Next we have Arya's Oathsworn, black and 1 for a 2/2 with menace. When it deals combat damage to a player, if it has, I would assume the player. Oh no, if Arya has fewer than 4 +1/+1 counters on it, play a +1/+1 counter on it. Then if it has exactly 4 +1/+1 counters on it, search your library for a card, put it into your hand, and shuffle. That is really powerful. That's going to be really strong in Modern because this thing's going to easily become a 6/6, which you're then going to just start searching for stuff in your library. Because once it gets to 4 counters, you just search your library instead of putting a counter on it, so it just happens every turn. So it has menace. This thing's absurd for any format you put this in. This thing's absurd. Next we have Feast of the Victorious Dead. Interesting. Black and white enchantment. Beginning of your end step, if one or more creatures died this turn, you gain that much life and distribute that many +1/+1 counters among creatures you control. Might be good for a Aristocrats deck. Tolarian Contempt. Interesting. 2 blue and 3 enchantment. When it enters the battlefield, put a rejection counter on each creature an opponent controls. At the beginning of your end step, for each opponent, choose up to one target creature they control with a rejection counter on it. That creature's owner puts it on top of their library. Wow, this is kind of like a so this is kind of like a bounce spell with what's it called? Like suspend maybe? I don't know. Like cuz beginning of your end step, for each opponent you choose up to one. So I mean, if they got 5 creatures, you can lay this for 5, put a counter on all of them, and then as long as this is in play for the next 5 turns, make them just randomly start putting stuff on top of their library. Seems really good, especially in Commander. For an uncommon, I'm impressed with this one. Next we have Coppercoat Vanguard, white and 1 for a 2/2. Each other human you control gets +1/+0 and has Ward 1 straight into the humans deck in Modern. This is just way too good. Wow, is this good. Alright, next. Metropolis Reformer, white and 2 for a 2/2, I think. Flying Vigilance, Hexproof, because why not? And when it is dealt damage, you gain that much life. Yeah, just sure. Why not? I mean, it's not going to be too overpowering because it's an Angel Cleric, but like, this is still good. Next, we have Blot Out. So, black and 2. Target opponent exiles a creature or planeswalker they control with the greatest mana value among creatures and planeswalkers they control. Interesting removal. Just okay, but still not bad. Next, we have Campus Renovation. White, red, and 3. Return up to one target artifact or enchantment card from your graveyard to the battlefield. Exile the top two cards of your library. Until the end of your next turn, you may play those cards. This is a really good way to grab stuff out of your graveyard plus draw cards. I like this. 5 mana is a lot, but still, this is good. Next, we have Open the Way. That's what he said to her. Anyway, 2 green and X for a sorcery. X can't be greater than the number of players in the game. So, okay. Reveal cards from the top of your library until you reveal X land cards. Put those land cards onto the battlefield tap and the rest on the bottom random order. So, this is only good in Commander because if you're playing one-on-one, like, you have to pay 3 for this to get 1 land off the top tapped. Not impressive. Now, Commander, you can lay this and get 4 lands off the top. Impressive. So, yeah. Commander only. Next, we have the Animus's Might. Green and 2. Sorcery. Costs 2 less to cast if it targets a legendary creature you control. So, it could be 1 green. Target creature you control deals damage equal to twice its power to target creature or planeswalker you don't control. Very nice. Good removal spell. Next, we have Filter Out. 2 blue and 1. Return all non-creature, non-land permanents to their owner's hand. That's a very interesting bounce spell, especially as instant. It doesn't get rid of creatures, but it will get rid of anything else. Well, land. It won't get rid of lands. Lands and creatures don't go. Yeah, so interesting. Can be good. Yeah, can be good. Yeah, I see some combo potential with this. Anyway, moving on. I won't get into it too much. It's been blabbing for a while now. We have Harnessed Snubhorn, white and 3 for a 2/5 Vigilance Dinosaur. Whenever Harnessed Snubhorn deals combat damage to a player, return target artifact or enchantment card from your graveyard to the battlefield. Cool, but for 4 mana for a 2/5 that has to get in, gonna be a little rough. However, if you're playing Commander, this could be very fun. So, we'll just go with that. Alright guys, so we managed to get through all of them. So we have now had the entire leak season in one day, technically 2. But you get what I mean, you get my drift. So thanks Wizards for probably doing this on purpose so you don't have to go through a league season because that's too difficult. Let's just be honest. Anyway, thanks a lot for watching, guys. I do appreciate it. Don't forget to subscribe. If you already have, I love you. Thank you. Links in the description below if you want to do more. And as always, till next time, be kind. And I hope to see you across from the game table. Man, let's go get some collector boxes open.